power. From the halls of government.
You were there. I was not there. Check the record. Wait now. I was not there.
To the voices of the people.
We are suffering. This suffering is too much. It's too much. Look at the students. There's no job. They finish school. There's no job for them.
We analyze the undercurrents, expose the intrigues, and break down the narratives that define our democracy. Dr. Tony Olisa Mbeki delivering razor-sharp analysis, and Ibuka Franklin and Chisom on the question wheel, driving the conversation. We bring you the most compelling discussions on governance, policies, and power plays. Stay informed, stay engaged, stay ahead. The Polity, every weekdays at 9:15 a.m. Exclusive on Udala 104.7 FM Onitsha. When politics unfolds, when decisions are made, we reveal the impact. Welcome to the Polity, your deep dive into the forces shaping governance, policies, and power. From the halls of government.
You were there. I was not there. Check the record. Wait now. I was not there.
To the voices of the people.
We are suffering. This suffering is too much. It's too much. Look at the students. There's no job. They finish school. There's no job for them.
We analyze the undercurrents, expose the intrigues, and break down the narratives that define our democracy. Dr. Tony Olisa Mbeki delivering razor-sharp analysis, and Ibuka Franklin and Chisom on the question wheel, driving the conversation. We bring you the most compelling discussions on governance, policies, and power plays. Stay informed, stay engaged, stay ahead. The Polity, every weekdays at 9:15 a.m. Exclusive on Udala 104.7 FM Onitsha.
It's a beautiful morning. The commercial nerve center of Anambra State, the city of Onitsha, the home of Udala Radio 104.7 FM. It's a beautiful morning, and we thank every one of you for waking us with us this Wednesday morning, the 8th of April 2026, and we're glad to bring you our political and good governance based program. Of course, I know that you listen to Bitter Assembly, where they talked about employees becoming whistleblowers and asking questions about whether it aligns with the principles of confidentiality, as we do see in organizations. So now on the Polity, we are going to switch the gears to bring you things that happen in Polity when it comes to politics, governance, and development. My name is Franklin, and we're glad to have you this very morning. In the course of the program, Tony is going to join on the phone for the analysis, but we're going to bring you the headlines and the other things in between. And before we get to the headlines, let me just run through a conversation I had with somebody yesterday, coming from a very concerned person, an elderly man. I believe that he should be in his close to late 60s and 70s. By the way, retired teacher. And he came in, looking distraught. And when we began to have conversation, and his concern was about the high rate of rent in Anambra State now, but precisely he was particular about Onitsha. It wasn't just the rent, but he talked about the fees that agents collect as agent fee, and other sundry fees that are attached to the rent when you want to move into an apartment for the very first time. And he shares stories of how he has been in such an apartment in Onitsha for quite a while as a retired civil servant, and it's been difficult for him to find a decent apartment. And he told me that The least he had found is 1.1 million naira for 3-bedroom apartment, and it was so difficult for him to continue. Now, he shared one scenario where he talked about how he found an apartment that he believed he could afford to pay, and he liked the apartment too. But when they wanted to pay for that very apartment, the landlady told them that there are about 3 house agents that need to be paid before they can be given that apartment. And guess what? One of the agents is not even living in Anambra State. He lives outside Anambra State. And he's been asking questions. What is the connection the agent has with an apartment that he didn't secure for him? And that raises, the question about the kind of practices we have in the real estate sector in Nigeria and here in Anambra State, where it is unregulated and is everything goes. An agent secures an apartment and gives you an exorbitant agent fee that nobody cares about. Because I believe that in most of the dealings that we do see, most of the times it's been 10% of the house rent, or the actual house rent. But in this very case, agents will look at you in the face and tell you that you are going to pay them up to 50% or even 40% of the actual house rent. And we ask him, how long will this continue? Because the way it's going, it appears that maybe in about 5 to 6 years' time, a civil servant might not be able to live in Onitsha or in Oka in Anambra State, the way things are going. Because a civil servant who has a static income or who has a static salary that has refused to meet up with the ties of time, would that person be able to afford this apartment and other sundry fees that come with getting a new apartment in Onitsha and the Oka, Anambra State? So I just shared a concern of a Nigerian, an Anambra citizen, who was distraught yesterday when he was sharing this very story with me. In fact, he came to the station yesterday to share this. So, and I believe that it could be the story of so many other persons in Onitsha and beyond who have gone through one form of challenge or the other trying to secure an apartment. No thanks to the high rent and also the charges that these agents collect from people. So this is just one of the issues coming up this very morning. So next will be for us to bring you the headlines we have on the papers today. 4 newspapers on card. Stay with us. Alright, it's now 9:24 a.m. You're listening to the Polity on Udala Radio 4.7 FM. Just to let you know that we are live on our Facebook page, Udala Radio 4.7 FM. Get there and drop your comment. Don't forget that you can follow the page, like, and share the post. On Instagram and YouTube, we are Udala Radio 4.7 FM. So get on those platforms and watch the video live as the proceedings, go on here. So my name is Franklin Ebekan. We get to see the headlines we have this very morning. So 4 newspapers, The Nation, Vanguard, The Punch, and The Guardian newspapers. And we have to begin with the headlines we have on The Nation newspaper. The big story there says we may not be able to field candidates in 2027, says ADC. Okay. Sorry, I think that was a mix-up. So let's look at the headlines we have. We don't have Nation this morning. We have Daily Sun, This Day, Guardian, and The Punch newspapers. And we begin with the headlines on Daily Sun. Ex-Southeast governors back Tinubu. The story is on page 29. In fact, yesterday we saw what they call the Forum of Former Southeast Governors emerging, and the convener happens to be former governor of Ebonyi State and Minister of Works, David Umahi. We're going to tell you more about this in the course of this very program. Another headline on Daily Sun says Amnesty International, UAGA Africa, CDC, CSOs raised the alarm over state of the nation. say insecurity, corruption, poverty destroying Nigeria. FG begins mass trial of terrorists, over 227 prosecuted by 10 judges. The story is on page 4 of Daily Sun newspaper. 2027 stakeholders back ex-Naseni EVC as next Nasarawa governor. The story is on page 8. Just killings, angry women halt mass burial. Protests in Angwa and Rukuba over arrest of youth. The story is on page 8. And these women and youth who protested yesterday, they were saying that those who were arrested by the soldiers are innocent, that they were not actually culprits in the killings that happened in Angwa and Rukuba. And they are saying soldiers should release these very people and go after those who were behind the dastardly attack that happened in Jos on Palm Sunday. Zenith Bank post 1.26 trillion naira shareholders to receive 100% increase in dividend. The story is on page 25. An interesting one showing that the bank is healthy. 2027, heaven won't fall if PDP ADC don't field candidates. Lagos APC. The story is on page 8. It has a rider, "You are talking nonsense," ADC reply. So if Lagos APC chairman or Lagos APC can say that heavens will not fall if PDP and ADC don't field candidate, what does that say about the allegation that APC is behind the crisis in the ADC and other opposition political parties? Would that lend credence to the suggestion or to the allegation? Because the way this thing is going, if you watch some people who are loyal to APC or who are aligned with APC, they have not found anything wrong with what happened. We have seen the likes of Bayon and Oga who have been defending the action of INEC, startly with any atom of strength in them. So would this lend credence to the allegation, or is just anybody trying to pick a side when it comes to politics? Okay, so we go over to the next paper, which is this newspaper, and the big story there says World Bank to Nigeria, save oil windfall for rainy day, rebuild fiscal buffers. I think World Bank is telling Nigeria what we have been saying and what any reasonable person has been saying, that as it appears now, this is the rainy day because of the increase in the price of crude oil in the international market. Nigeria is making more money, but the point remains, the more money we are making, what are we going to do with it? How are we going to channel that very money, or just to waste it, as it has been our culture in Nigeria? And another headline says any bank maintains its leadership streak with PBT of 1.26 trillion naira, declares 100% increase in dividend. Then on page 32, which is about NNPC confirms launch of cotton crude into global market. NNPC confirms launch of cotton crude into global market. If you read the story, you get to understand the nature of this crude which NNPC launched. Of course, it offers another variety, different from what we have known Nigeria to export, the Bonny Light and what have you not. So for Nigeria, we can say that it's an improvement in what the NNPCL has been doing. If you look at the statement which was issued by the NNPC Chief Corporate Communications Officer Andy Ode, he said that the maiden cargo of the cotton blend was shipped on April 5 aboard the MT Eburon's vessel to Netherlands, and from what we gathered, it was a 950,000 cargo that was loaded. And this time around, let's see how we develop from this. Okay, so another headline we have on this newspaper says 2027 Forum of Former Southeast Governors instituted, endorses Tinubu for a second term. You can see the picture of Sullivan Chime, the governor of Enugu State, Peter Mba. You can see the face of former Enugu Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, former Abia State Governor Okezi Bazo, former Governor of Bonny State, talking about the Minister of Works, David Umahi, former Governor of Anambra State, Dr. Kisingrid Ngige, and then former governor of Ebonyi State, Martin Elechi. That's the picture story you can see on the front page of this day newspaper. And the final headline on the front page of this day says, Trump backs down on threats to destroy Iran, agrees 2-week ceasefire. Okay, let's move over to the headlines we have on the Guardian newspaper. The big story says, Middle East crisis exposes costly weakness in Nigeria's cloud economy. The story is on page 6. You can see the breakdown on that very front page that has Nigeria's cloud economy problems, fragility exposed. The breakdown is on that very front page. Another headline says, NAFDAC links hypertension, stroke, epidemic, others to salt intake. The story is on page 7. There was a forum in Abuja yesterday where NAFDAC talked about that. And they're advising Nigerians to reduce their intake of sodium or salt because it's been linked to hypertension, stroke, epidemic, and others. In fact, anybody who has been taking his health seriously, we know that each time we talk to medical personnel, they will advise you about, moderate intake of sodium, not just in the food you cook, even in the processed food, because most of them are processed with the sodium. Then another story says, bandits kill 6 in Bauchi community as groups raise alarm, on page 30 of the Guardian newspaper. Another story says, NAD suspends planned strike as Shetima intervenes. Ogun doctors comply, on page 5. I can recall that we broke that very story yesterday, that NAD suspended the strike. The strike was meant to commence that yesterday, and that same yesterday it was suspended. Because early in the morning around 7:30, I spoke with the Southeast Caucus leader of NADS, Dr. Etieke, and he told me that, because I wanted him to be on our program yesterday, but he told me that I should give him time, that they had a meeting by 7:30 yesterday. After the meeting, he was going to get back to me whether the strike was gone or not. And by 11 a.m., he got back to me saying that the strike had been suspended, and we were able to break that very news by 2 a.m. before it appeared on any national daily yesterday. Okay, so from what we gathered, Shetima intervened, and the issue in question, he promised that he was going to address that. A UN chief hinges Africa's food security on Dangote global partnership. That story can be found on page 5. And we'll go over to another headline here that says, National Police Day. Tinubu underscores intelligence gathering as IGP salutes fallen heroes. The story is on page 5. I've been asking myself when we are going to begin to address the concerns of the police head on. Because policemen actually, in as much as we do call them out all the time because of how they have not been covering themselves in glory by the virtue of the extortion, unprofessionalism, but that does not mean that they're not doing anything. They are doing something, and also they need to be encouraged. And if we are going to encourage them, all those things that they need for them to be able to function very well need to be provided. Apart from remuneration, they need housing, they need insurance, and what have you. They need all these things for them to be able to function. Because if you look at the kind of police we had, even in the immediate post independence era, and compare it to now, you will see that there's a difference. Because those days policemen used to live in barracks, they used to have accommodation, they used to have their their boots, their uniform taken care of. But these days it appears the reverse is the case. And if you look at the economic reality we have in the country, what they are paid, would that take them home? And police stations, do they have enough money for them to run the police stations? That's why we're talking about state police, and we have not even asked about the basic question. State government, would they be able to fund police for us to be able to have that kind of proper policing we need? Or are we going to have a shamble in the name of policing where we have state police extorting and we have federal police extorting? Okay, so we'll get to another headline here that says ADC crisis deepens as new faction usurps party leadership, backs INEC. The story is on page 6. This faction emerged yesterday, and they said their leader is Ibe Kachuku, who was one time a presidential candidate of ADC. In fact, that group yesterday said they were made up of chairmen in 25 states. Because this crisis in ADC now is an opportunity for others to spring up. We know that in the immediate aftermath of the formation of the Mark-led National Working Committee, that Ibe Kachukwu and co, they kicked against that, trying to fighting from here to there, but at the end of the day, they didn't get the kind of recognition they needed, to give them the oxygen to go on. But now that the court and the INEC has helped out, so this new faction is now coming out. So we now have three factions claiming leadership of ADC. How it's going to end, we do not know. But at this point in time, what might be best for ADC might be for them to explore consultation, deliberation, negotiations, for them to be able to be out of the woods and avoid any lockdown that might, give them injury as they go into the 2027 election. And the final headline we have on the front page of, the second to the final headline on the front page of the Guardian says, chaos as a rainstorm damages Abuja transport project. The story is on page 8, and I must say that people have been calling out the FCT minister, about this very project. If you look at if you see the picture and the videos, it's not looking good at all. A project that has taken hundreds of millions of naira. Money has been sunk into this very project, and it has been hyped that at the completion is going to be one in town. But look at just windstorm yesterday, and everything is in shambles now. So it brings the question about, standardization of project. What happened? Was it that they used sustainable material or what? Because we just saw the work of nature yesterday, and everything came crashing. The final headline says, UN chief hinges Africa's food security on Dangote global partnerships. The story is on page 5 of the Guardian newspaper. And we're going to get over to the Punch for the final headlines before we begin our analysis. Okay, so on the Punch newspaper, we have the big story that says 2027 battle, ADC crisis worsens as faction claims control. That story is on page 7, and it has a writer that says Mark-led ADC insists on convention, aggrieved chieftains announce caretaker committee. Another headline says doctors end strike, hospitals reopen. That's today. They said they are going to return to work today by 8 a.m. That story can be found on page 12. Oil shock. World Bank predicts 3.1 point inflation rise for Nigeria on page 8. And the headline beside the nameplate says 5 terrorists jailed. FG expedites 500 suspect trial. That story can be found on page 3. And you get over to other headlines on the front page of the Punch. This one says NCC orders telcos to compensate subscribers. On page 22, police arrest Lagos robbers, recover 14 guns. On pages 1 and 5 of the Punch. And the final headline says Tinubu's visit, Lagos announced partial road closures. On page 6. Since yesterday, the announcement was made by Lagos State government asking people to explore alternative routes because of the project that Mr. President is going to commission in Lagos State today and tomorrow. So if you're in Lagos or going to Lagos, of course, you have to look for that information to avoid running into an endless traffic or blockage that might keep you in one place for a long time. So these are the headlines I have this very morning on the front pages, and next will be for us to bring you the analysis on these issues. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
You're listening to The Polity. Get involved now.
Thank you for staying tuned to Udala Radio 104.7 FM. You are listening to The Polity, and my name is Franklin Ebuka. We have brought you the headlines, and next is for us to look at the analysis. And we have given you a couple of the issues we have this very morning on the papers. You can go to our Facebook page, Udala Radio 104.7 FM, and get interactive on that very page. Tell us what you think about the issues that have been raised on the paper this very morning. And one of them is about the formation of the Forum of Former Southeast Governors. And it will happen yesterday in Enugu after a meeting. The Minister of Works and former Governor of Ebonyi State, Senator David Mark, he announced that very formation, saying that they are going to work for the re-election bid of Mr. President. And he even said that that Southeast Governors, that all of them are behind that re-election bid of Mr. President. Perhaps I think we hear from David Omahi first before we get to now bring in Tony so that he can bring analysis on this very issue.
What was going on and is still going on is that we now have the birth of a forum of former Southeast Governors. Today, the 7th of April, 2026. And so we have been deliberating, and they have asked me to read out a very short communique, which is a product of our discussion and dialogue. Number one, that the Southeast, before I read it out, let me say that many of the governors, some are outside the country for medical checkup. Somebody like Governor Hakim, somebody like the former governor of Abia State, OUK, Senator Ojozo, somebody like Chimaroke, His Excellency, Dame Etiaba Excellency, also has engagement. And so many other theology has a medical engagement, and a host of other governors. That in our next meeting, we are sure that over 90% of the former governors of Southeast will be in attendance. So the communique, Southeast Forum of Former Governors is formed today, 7th of April, 2026. The body is to support our presiding governors of Southeast and advise them on key zonal and national matters. The forum shall be for all former governors, irrespective of party affiliation. So far, they have been governor in Southeast. We commend the great works that our governors of Southeast are doing for the benefit of our people. We commend Mr. President very highly for all the appointments, some of them very key, that is given to sons and daughters of Southeast, and for infrastructural revolution in Southeast, just like what he's doing in other regions of the country. We also thank Mr. President for the assistance to the governors of Southeast, and of course, indeed, all governors of the country, which has helped the governors of Southeast in very, very high measures towards the great achievements they have recorded while in their various offices. We are grateful to Mr. President, and we thank our dear governors of Southeast for their commitment in their face of the people of Southeast, especially infrastructure development and empowerment and security. We boldly say that all the governors of Southeast are supporting Mr. President re-election, and we are very grateful for them because this is strategic, thinking and a strategic approach. And for this, we continue to give them support. And I believe that our next meeting, which we embrace most of the former governors, will be in the next 2 weeks. And let me also report that we are going to pay a courtesy call to the governor of Enugu State right now, and we will be requesting him to report our outing to the chairman of Southeast Governors Forum, and of course to all the governors of Southeast, to get a date that we come and pay the courtesy call and brief them on the need for this Southeast former governors forum. That's and synergize with them and see areas we can support them, and of course help them to educate our people on the great work they are doing for our people. That's the outcome of our meeting today. Do you have any question?
Okay, so you heard from the governor of, or rather former governor of Ebonyi State and Minister of Works, Senator David Umahi, who is the convener of that very forum. And from what he said they're endorsing the re-election bid of Mr. President. And he said that all the Southeast governors are also in that very mission, praising them, saying that what they did is strategic, that is going to help the region. And some of this, I don't know if I haven't mentioned those people who were at that very meeting yesterday, because all the governors were not there, but a couple of them were there. And he gave reasons why some of them were not there. He said some of them were on medical checkup, but I mentioned that when I was reading out the headlines this very morning. So we're going to bring in Tony Odisambeki so he can offer analysis on these issues. Like I said, that he is going to join on phone this very morning for this very conversation. Let's make out meaning out of what happened yesterday, whether it's all about David Umahi trying to up his political plan in a bid to ensure that Mr. President gets more votes in the Southeast than he had ever gotten in past elections. Good morning, Tony. Yes. Hello, Tony.
Hello, Tony. Hello, I'm here now.
All right. Good morning. You can hear me very well.
I can hear you very well. Very well.
Okay, so is your phone in speaker?
No, it's not.
Okay, because we are having echo here. That's why I was asking.
All right, let me see if I can just. Is the echo still there?
Okay. So let's go forward and see how it goes. So I talked about the formation of Southeast governors, or rather former governors of Southeast Forum yesterday, which was announced by David Umahi. How do you look at that?
Well, everything is geared towards 2027. David Umahi is the one piloting the forum. Before now, we ought to have had the forum before now. The idea of the forum is to bring them together, because this time now there are no other stakeholders. The stakeholders in the Southeast project for the development of Southeast. But we are now seeing this forum coming at the time election is closed. The question everybody should ask, why is the forum formed? Is the forum formed for the development of Southeast region as it should be, or for the re-election of Mr. President? Because the timing is of difference. Where we've seen this forum, where we've seen fora like this before, times where there is critical need within the region, within the system, to change the narratives, to change the way things are done, to bring in their own idea to the development of the state. But seeing this, because many Nigerians or many Southeasterners, of course, we see it as purely political. I think what they could call the forum could have been the forum of Southeast governors for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, or forum of former Southeast governors for the election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. There's nothing wrong with that. They have every right to support anybody they want to support for presidency, and they are entitled to everything they are doing. But where they are coming from the angle of Southeast government, so it should be for the gentlemen to the Southeast. But for the one they have formed, I think I would better rephrase it as Forum of Southeast former governors for the re-election of Mr. President, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that should be the proper name. That should be the appropriate name. It's nothing definitely wrong with that. Because you have problem.
Okay, this very forum that has been formed, what do you think that it can do to the re-election bid of Mr. President? Because from the look of things, it seems like those who are in the APC or those who are sympathetic to Mr. President, that they want to ensure that the president gets more votes in the Southeast than he got in the last election. And many of them had made promises, and he also confirmed that all the Southeast governors are behind the re-election bid of Mr. President. So what can he scratch when it comes to the politics proper in terms of getting votes for Mr. President?
Well, I like instruction, because if you look at that very list or their numbers, they are not complete. Because if you come to Imo State, I didn't see Achiku, I'm aware he's still alive. Then after Achiku, I think I heard him when he was saying Hakim was not in the country, and after Hakim, Ruchas Okorocha is not even there. I don't know why Ruchas is not there. Then after Ruchas Okorocha, we have but that's the past governor we have in Imo State. That's for Imo State. So you have 3 persons who are not there. Ashike is not there. Hakim is not there. Ruchas is not there. Now come back to Abia State. Come to Abia State. I had expected to see Ojo Zakab. He's not there. I did not even see Theodore Oji. Theodore Oji is not also there. Then after Theodore, of course, I'm still Kesni Bazo, who succeeded Theodore Oji. That's for Abia State. 2 persons are not. If you come to Enugu State, I didn't even see Chimaroke in the marry. I mean, for whatever reason, because Chimaroke, not that giving him position, because he fought for the president during the first election. He did everything. He was disappointed that he was not given any position. But that's Chimaroke. I didn't see him there. And I did not also, I thought him. Okay? And I also saw money. In Enugu State, it's just one person missing. That is Chimaroke Chimane. If you come to Ebonyi State, I didn't see Stan Ewu, but I saw Martin Eleshi, and also I also saw Dave Bumai, who succeeded Eleshi, so he is the one promoting this. For Ebonyi State, I'm sure one person is missing. For Anambra State, of course, we know about the youth. Then after about the youth, Ari Obiano is based in the United States of America. He's not even interested in all these kind of politics that are playing. He's just there enjoying himself. Yeah, after Obiano, and you see, okay, Peter B is also a governor of Southeast. So now, the question is, they have one of their own as former governor, and they decided to throw it to the outside. I think it's not comprehensive, if you ask me, because there are so many of them who are missing. And that's why the name for the forum is inappropriate. It should be Forum of Former Past Governors of Southeast for the re-election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Not all of them support the re-election, because one of them is also a governor. But I think one of them was who I think is also a former governor. So it should be for the re-election. I think the phraseology or the caption, for me, is deceiving. But the point is, they have every right to support Mr. President. And if you look at it, many of them do not have political value. What they call political vote. Many of them can win councillorship election in the states. Take it or leave it. Councillorship, even local government chairman election. Many of them don't even have that day. Many of them are retired. They are not vibrant in politics. For me, I think it's one of the schemes they've devised to get money from Tinubu by the time resource for re-election is being shared and allocated. He would use that to collect funds, and they'll get funds. And that funds will get, who knows what they're going to use it for. I have said it many times, they are trying to do everything possible to see that Mr. President has a strong story, has a strong president, has a strong business on it. But the people in Southeast are going to determine that, not the political hatchet for the doing, like what we are seeing now. For me, I want to say, they are essential to what they are doing, But if you look at the composition, if you look at the way it is constituted, there is something lacking, and that I have explained. And having noticed that, what can they do? They cannot do anything. They cannot do anything. They have no more to do. Because the people that are doing work will be the governors. Governors have the resources in their kitty, and these resources in their kitty will be what they're going to use to mobilize for Mr. President. The interesting thing is the entire Southeast governors are working for Mr. President. All of them. All the entire Southeast governors, they are working for Mr. President's election. I mean, these are people you need to take more serious, not the association of retired and former governors. That no political value.
All right, so Tony, in 2023, President Bola Tinubu received roughly about 127,000 votes in the entire Southeast geopolitical zones, which is made up of 5 states. If you look at the breakdown, you see that in Abia State, he got about 8,914 votes. In Anambra, 5,111 votes. In Ebonyi, he got 42,402 votes. In Enugu, he got 15,749 votes. And in Imo State, he got 66,171. So he got the highest in Imo State. Now, going into 2027, we are seeing the kind of inroad that the president seems to be making in the Southeast. We have seen formation of different groups, and the latest now is Forum of former Southeast governors. Do you see Mr. President getting more votes in 2027 in Southeast?
Well, he may get more than he did last time, there's no doubt. Because if you look at the numbers, you have rolled like Ebonyi State, Enugu State about 15,000, and then Enugu State about 60-something thousand. He may get more than numbers, but the difference may not still be too wild as expected. The difference, of course, Mr. President is making inroads, no doubt. And I'm aware in Anambra State, the people of Anambra State will mobilize strongly for Mr. President, and that enough will give him considerable amount of votes. Yes, and I'm also aware in Imo State, the governor of Imo State will mobilize very well, strongly for him, and that will give him votes. In Enugu State, they're going to do the same, and also in Ebonyi State, they're going to do the same. The outing for me would be much more better than what we had the last time. But the question is, would it turn out into anything tangible? That's another thing. But the margin will not be so wide. If you ask me to speculate or to estimate, the margin will not be too wild. The truth remains that, in fact, the city boys, they have been sharing a lot of things. They have been sharing a lot of materials, empowerment programs. They have been doing so much. But the people, the whole thing is collect from them and do what they're supposed to do on the election day. And that's the mantra. But the key thing is why it may not be the way it were last time was that they are making sure that certain dynamics that played out the last time do not repeat this time. And we are going to see some of them not repeat. But the president will have a much more better outfit in Southeast than he had in 2023. But this association of former governors, of bad governors, is dead on arrival. They cannot do anything. They cannot move an inch. Look at Umai as the governor could not even produce enough votes for President Tinubu. He came out openly to support. He couldn't move an inch as a governor. And he wants to move installed to do much more better than that. There is something they should be asking themselves. And Mr. President should not be deceived. Most of these people moving around, forming association, forming groups, all they care about is to collect resource from the campaign council by the time they will start sharing resources. There's no doubt. I have said it many times that Mr. President is unstoppable, is unbeatable because of the dynamics, because of the qualities we are seeing, because of certain things happening. Yes, she may not have it more easy in Southeast because of the ideology, the sentiment of the people. But whether these politicians going to do anything, I don't see them doing much. But I'm aware that in Anambra State, because of the good structure of Abga, we give Mr. President a sizable vote, no doubt. But the key thing is, it might not really be that which everybody may expect.
Okay, so Tony, at this point, we have to go for commercial break. Once we return, we are going to reconnect with you so that we continue the analysis. Stay on the line.
All right.
FM.
Special announcement. All traders and business owners affected by the ongoing demolition at Onitsha Main Market. An alternative is now available. West Africa Intercontinental Trade Center Limited, WETC, in partnership with the Anambra State Government, is building a modern commercial complex at Oze Nkwele Road Mechanic Village. Good news. All affected traders will receive free shops for 1 year, while the permanent shop clusters are being completed. To benefit from this opportunity, all affected traders and interested persons should visit the Onitsha Chamber of Commerce to obtain the expression of interest form. Location: opposite Shanahan University Gate, Basilica of the Most Holy Trinity Compound, GRA, Onitsha. Investors who wish to build modern shops for sale to subscribers can also obtain the forms. Note: only 16 clusters remain, and each cluster contains 272 shops. Don't miss this opportunity to secure a shop in the WETC Modern Trade Complex today. For inquiries, call 0803-786-6974 or 0813-644-5336.
Onitsha, are you ready? This is not your regular night out.
Another one.
This is Udala House Party. Live at Movie Lounge, 8 Park Road, GRA, Onitsha, on April 10th, 2026 at 7 p.m. And guess what? Entry is free.
Involve me!
With vibes from DJ Famous, Prestige, Bucci, Ojugo, Edith, and Lisa, plus performances from DJ Fabulous, Tantawo, and the Obrigado. There will be games, 10 free casino slots for 10 lucky winners, board games, vibes, energy all night. Strictly 18 and above. And yes, it's gonna be live on air on Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Udala House Party this Friday. Make it a date. Brought to you by Udala Radio and Movie. Are you smart, confident, and ready to earn big? Do you have a passion for sales and marketing? Then listen up. Udala Radio 104.7 FM is calling on ambitious, result-driven individuals to join our team as marketers. No limits, no boundaries, just results and rewards. Work at your own pace, meet amazing clients, and grow your income. Sell it, share it, earn your way. Join Udala Radio and start today. Interested? Visit our station today at number 5 Okono Street, Onitsha, or call 0803-350-4206 or send your CV to udalaradio@gmail.com. Don't wait. Your success story starts here. Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Seriously authentic. Are you smart, confident, and ready to earn big? Do you have a passion for sales and marketing? Then listen up. Udala Radio 104.7 FM is calling on ambitious, result-driven individuals to join our team as marketers. No limits, no boundaries, just results and rewards. Work at your own pace, meet amazing clients, and grow your income. Sell it, share it, earn your way. Join Udala Radio and start today. Interested? Visit our station today at number 5 Okono Street, Onitsha, or call 0803-350-4206 or send your CV to udalaradio@gmail.com. Don't wait. Your success story starts here. Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Seriously authentic.
We are Udala Radio. Udala Radio 104.7 FM.
You're listening to the Polity. Get involved now. You're listening to the Polity. Get involved now.
Okay, thank you for staying tuned to the Radio 104.7 FM. It's 5 minutes past 10 a.m. and you are listening to The Polity. My name is Franklin Antonio Lisambeki has been on the phone. From there, he's been offering analyses on the issues we have raised. And we just finished talking about the emergence of a forum of former Southeast governors led by the Minister of Works, David Umahi, and they talked about what they're going to do for the re-election bid of Mr. President. So we have to switch gears now and get on another development we have on our card this very morning. It's about NCC, because NCC has given order to telcos to compensate subscribers. If you look at that very story captured by Punch newspaper, it says that the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, has directed mobile network operators to compensate subscribers affected by prolonged or repeated poor quality of service under a new framework that takes effect from April 2026. And the Commission said that this very move was aimed at ensuring accountability in the telecom sector. And what they are saying is that telcos are now required to identify affected subscribers and then provide compensation directly. This is what this regulator posted on its website yesterday, being Tuesday. Under this very framework, subscribers in impacted local government areas will receive automatic airtime credits for service failures affecting voice calls, SMSs, data, and both individual and corporate customers are eligible for this. And I have to take a quote from what they said. They said, to be eligible, you must have experienced poor network service in an affected local government area, and you made at least one outgoing revenue generating event, which could be, bill, call, SMS, or data session during this very relevant period. This is what telco said, and it's saying that subscribers are going to be notified via SMS once airtime credits are applied and what have you not. So, and this brings to the mind that we now have NCC recognizing the fact that network service has been poor in recent times. So we start from there, Tony. What has been your assessment of network operators services in recent time? I don't know, in the area where you reside, what has been your experience?
Well, just like you asked, what has been the quality of network where I reside? It is more like a roller coaster. Roller coaster in the sense that it is checkered. It is neither here nor there. There are times it be bad, there are times you have it good. But when you have it bad, you nurse your injuries, you nurse your wounds, you console yourself. But when you have it good, probably you may think that Nigeria is now working like South Africa, where things are coordinated, regulated, and quality control and standards remain untouchable and at the same time uncompromisable. Let's take you to South Africa, because we have NCC have just talked about issue of compensation. But how many are you going to compensate? Virtually every Nigeria has experienced poor quality network. If they go all out to compensate everybody, they may run out of capital, or they may not have enough capital to run their businesses. So when NCC told discos compensate subscribers, all of us are all victims, all of us. But I think NCC should go beyond rhetorics, because if what they have just said is practically impossible. Because how many Nigerians are they going to compensate in one way or the other? And when will the compensation begin? Are we going to talk about this month? Are we going to talk about this very day? Are we going to talk about last week? How long are we? How is it measured? How is it weighted? That's the point. I was about saying before now that in South Africa, they have independent communications authority in South Africa. They regulate telecommunications, broadcasting, postal services, including mobile network operators like what we have here, MTN and V-Mobile and other things we have here. But in their own case, they set minimum quality of service, pure OX standards. That's what they said. You can't go below that minimum quality of service, pure OX standard for voice, data, and other services. And it goes on to conduct regular and even something is unannounced. Monitoring and audits of operators' performance. I've said times with that Nigeria is a case where we are monitoring, audit. These things are alien to most of those who ordinarily should be having this from time to time. No monitoring, no audit. I'm going to tell you that if a network fault caused by operators prevent anybody from using bundle like data, voice, SMS, the operator must extend the validity of that bundle as a form of compensation. That is a part of recent amendment to the end user and subscriber service charter regulation, which was which started to be effective from 2006. I'm talking to you about what is applicable in South Africa. And there is other rights to redress. But the thing is, we have failed to do what we are supposed to do. We have all experienced both data, voice, SMS, bundles, being unsteady, being epileptic. We are talking about our own NEPA, or what we call the EDC, or Bado, or the Kuyi, or whatever this we call them by their names, or even more we talk about electricity. We've seen that periodically in Nigeria. In fact, South African consumers, of course, they have a legislation already in place where they have rights to remedy, not just order. Order is just administrative directives. And most times administrative directives are challenged. They are not even compliant to the letter because it's administrative, directive.
Okay, so Tony, let's look at this very directive by the NCC because from what is out there on the website, it's saying that subscribers do not need to submit any claim. It's left for the operators to monitor their network, know the performances, and be able to identify the areas where they have had network failures and compensate. How workable is this?
I think it is service. It is pure deception. We have the NCC, Nigerian Communication Commission. They have failed woefully, just as Consumer Protection Agency has failed. We have these agencies of government paid with the taxpayers' money. And virtually Nigerians are being at the wrong end of every scenario, every situation in this country. I must be honest with you. You go to the market, you are being given a fake product, a poor quality product. You go home, you're not yet injured. Even the food we eat, everything. We ask, where is standardization? Where is government in all of this? And look at what you just said now. And I've also seen them on the website. Where the end users do not make claims, but rather the network providers will now look into the network and identify where there is network, poor network, and see how they can compensate users there. It is impracticable because there are some users, because they move from one place to the other. Where they were today may not be where they're going to be tomorrow. How do they have the data geopositioning users at a particular geographic area for a given period of a given time? See, let's be realistic in this country, and nobody should be deceiving us. And I was actually asking, what is there in enforcing key minimum quality of standard threshold? What is there?
Now we might need to ask at this point in time. These telcos, when they started, at a point in time, we were having some reasonable stability in their services. But these days, I can give you an instance of where I reside. When I moved in there, I could stream anything I want to stream on the internet with dependable internet, whether 2G, 3G, or 4G, or 5G. But as we speak now, it has to stream anything using internet service of a particular network provider. And if I attempt to switch to the rival network, the same story, the same thing. And when I look around, I see their mast close to where I reside. And I begin to ask myself, what has happened to the equipment? Is this fiber wire cord? What is actually happening? That we're now having deterioration. in services provided?
Well, your observations are right. And just like that, in a way, sometimes just to say that if you want to stream, for me, streaming is just a kind of a high-level network usage, high level. Because the basic has to do with voice and file sharing, using file transfer protocols. These are the basic. When you talk about either video conferencing, streaming, of course, they are high level. We've not got the low level as we should. See, the truth is, just like I said, in South Africa, let me break this in. Probably I'm going to use some technical languages and possibly break it down for those who are listening to us. The truth is, in South Africa, MTN has its roots and base because they are the major provider in Nigeria, which is MTN. They originate from South Africa. It's one of the big South African firms. Because if you look at the minimum standard, the minimum threshold in their own country, application throughput, that is download. If you want to download any material, the download should be more than 5 BPS. When I say BPS, I simply mean 5 megabytes per second. It must be greater than 5. That will never be a time that your application throughput, that is download, for a network provider in any given space, in any given geographic area where it is less than 5 megabytes per second. It cannot. That is for what we call the application throughput. And if you take it further for 5 transponder, that is average download throughput FTP, which will be more than 5. The minimum is 5 megabytes per second. The same has to do with upload. There are times you want to upload things on internet. The upload will need to work. And because it's the threshold, at any point they come or audit or monitor and they discover that some of these things are below 5, you will be fined heavily. It's better you shut down business. It's better you are not doing business than to be in business deceiving people. We have people who subscribe for different services. These services are epileptic. It cannot be something anybody. And more people are wasting money. Wasting money. You see, sometimes just to upload file, to download file, these things happen. It is just very, very degradable. If you talk about internet usage, that's what we call the high HTTP, hyper text transfer protocol. For those who study data communication or internet networking and all that, it shouldn't be more than 5. Because sometimes you will be surfing the internet or surfing a particular site. Sometimes you want to view some materials, you want to just go to some menus. You must be greater than 5 Mbps.
Okay, so Tony, for us to leave this now, I'll move to another thing we have, because from what we have now, NCC is saying that only prolonged or repeated service failure below what they know as their regulatory threshold, we qualify for this kind of compensation. It's saying that short or quick remedied outages are not out, they are out of this very compensation threshold. Now, I would like us to now leave this very matter and move over to the next thing, which is what is happening in the ADC, where yesterday we saw the emergence of what I might call a third faction laying claim to the leadership of ADC. Now that the party is battling to save itself from doom because of the action that was taken by INEC. Yesterday, we saw some state chairmen of ADC, claiming that they have taken control of the party, following the removal of the name of David Mark, led NWC by INEC. From what we saw yesterday, these chairmen claimed that they were representing 25 states and they were backed by ADC 2023 presidential candidate Dumebi Kachuku. So at this point, like I said yesterday, from what is happening to ADC, what do you consider as what they should explore now for them to be able to run away from being trapped in this landmine that is before them?
Well, see more of this drama. This is not the end. We're going to see more of this drama because I expected that something of this nature would happen. But the truth remains that the man in question, one Don Norman Binna and Case Lorder, now one said that his new interim chairman, of course, just like we said, they claim legislative control of the party. They say that it's in the ADC constitution that whenever there is crisis at the neck. But the fact remains that the chairman of neck of any political party remains the natural chairman of that party. And that's just that. And he is the one that will call for this meeting. The next chairman of any political party is usually the next chairman of that political party, who is also the leader or the main factor when it comes to WC. Of course, we have not the layers, the Congress. Of course, he's the chairman of the Congress, the national chairman. Then you talk about the NEC. He's the chairman of NEC. Then you talk about NWC. He's to the national chairman. He's the one parading or piloting the affairs of this. So these people that came from nowhere, the question, if you can't be a chairman of a party in a state and claims to invoke the powers of your party constitution to assume the position of national chairman to take over the party. And for me, it is quite hilarious. It is dramatic. We understand drama. These things are distraction. The only thing APC have in their own kitty is to pray that they have favorable rulings from the courts, because the court is going to decide all these anomalies. But for me, this is anomalies, but they should hope in court, like I said yesterday, they should have their plan A, plan B, plan C, and plan D. Because what they should also know that whatever they are doing is time bound. Time bound means that election is coming. They should deal with their case at the Federal High Court under Justice Emeka Wike. Once that is decided, I will know appeal will be nothing. And expect the Supreme Court. It's not going to end at that Federal High Court. It's not going to end at the appeal court. It's not going to end at the Supreme Court. It's going to end at the Supreme Court. By the time it ends at the Supreme Court, the election may be very close. I listened to the party led by Dixon Seriaki, NDC, where he was telling people to be Atiku and their likes, even David Mark and Daribucho, they can come and join NDC if they really want to challenge the status quo. Let NDC be the coalition that he's in control of NDC, that he has blocked every loophole that those who try to destabilize political parties usually use to destabilize the political parties according to him. That he has blocked every loophole that the traitors or destabilizers can have a control over NDC. If they are looking for a similar name, because why they chose ADC? Because it sounds like APT. One is APC, the other one is ADC. The only difference is D and then P in the middle. That's the only difference. They want something similar to challenge ADC. That they have something like that. They have NDC, even when it is obvious that N and D, they are quite different from APC. He is trying to tell them join their political party, but if they join, they're gonna take retain their positions in the ADC. The truth is, their fate is in courts. There will be more drama. Expect another group or splinter to come out tomorrow and declare one thing or the other. Those that did what they did yesterday, of course, they were paid. They were asked to perform that script, but court will settle everything, and that court is the full court. The trial court, of course, whatever.
Okay. At this point in time, because we're going to go for commercial break very soon. There's a court process, and like I said yesterday, there's a timeline for parties to carry out some activities in pursuance to 2027 general election. So everybody is racing to ensure that they meet up with this very timeline. And you said they are going to settle in court. We know how our courts are with, dispensing justice. And if they are going to go the whole gamut of exploring the legal process, get to Supreme Court, it's going to take time for them to be able to do this.
Yeah, it's going to take time. That is what has befallen them.
So is there anything they can do in the interim for INEC to recognize the ADC NWC led by Mark, so that they will be able to carry out with their activities pending when they resolve the issue about leadership at the Supreme Court?
Of course, they can collect INEC recognition in court, but they have to approach a federal court because it's a separate matter on its own. The leadership tussle is a different matter, but INEC recognition is something I explained before now. They also have filed a suit before the Federal High Court challenging INEC recognition. And if the Federal High Court rules, because it's going to be very crooked, that INEC should recognize them, INEC should do that before going even to appeal that. The only thing they can do that will make INEC to recognize them is approaching a Federal High Court, where a Federal High Court will issue a ruling, a judgment that they be recognized by INEC. But I know INEC will challenge that because they are questioning the order of INEC on what ground. Because INEC said they accepted the court judgment, but they have also argued no judgment of court directed you to derecognize us. You've stripped us of leadership. INEC has the power to strip a political power of leadership. It is not within the ambit. It's not within their gamut. It's not within their jurisdiction. It's not one of the functions of INEC. And we've seen it. And it's a very, very bizarre scenario. It's so bizarre, but they cannot compare INEC by protest. You cannot compare INEC. The only institution that compares INEC is courts. They should approach from the things. The stabilization process is ongoing. APC is consolidating. APC is making inroads. Why? They are being derailed. They are really disorganized. That tells you a whole lot. And the whole thing is fast approaching. That tells you where we are heading. When I say the president is unbeatable, the president is a re-election, it seems to be fait accompli. People still not understand.
Okay. All right. So a lot has been happening, because even I saw a statement that was released by ADC. Okay, the acting chairman of ADC in Abia State, where he told Don Norman Obinna, to stop parading himself as the chairman of ADC in that very state. That tells you that the crisis now seems to be like an open window for other crises to emerge in that very part. So let's see how it goes. But at this point, we have to go for commercial break. Once we return, it will be for us to take calls and take reactions from our Facebook page.
Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Seriously authentic.
Onitsha, una done ready for the biggest Easter shutdown. Golden Promise Entertainment presents Easter Golden Fiesta. One massive night of music, comedy, and correct vibes. It happens Sunday, April 12, 2026 from 5 p.m. till dawn for Onitsha Mall ShopRite. Host for the night, MC Bim and MC Feargod. Music policy by Emmy Black, Ivado, and Sparkle T. Laughter with comedians like Twin Parrots, Prince Neche, 5 Naira, Dibia Update, Holy Baba, and Sister Equitos, plus live performances from Mweze and CJ Ozugo, and DJs will go keep the party hot all night. DJ Staffy, DJ Y Barrel, DJ Two Step, DJ Tony Banks, DJ Freezy, and DJ NK. Tickets they go fast. Regular 2,000 Naira, VIP 5,000 Naira, VVIP table for 5, 200,000 Naira. For sponsorship, bookings, and enquiries, call 0814-394-2802 or 0808-441-5156. Easter Golden Fiesta, the party we Onitsha go talk about. Supported by Udala Radio 104.7 FM.
Admission. This is to inform the general public about the entrance examination into Mata Amabli Secondary School, Umoji, Anambra State. It is an all-boarding secondary school for girls managed by the Catholic Archdiocese of Onitsha, which admits both Catholic and non-Catholic students. It is strategically located along Mpo Umoji Road, roughly 10 minutes drive from Mpo Junction. The exam will be for the prospective students of JSS1, JSS2, SS1 and SS2 classes. Date is Saturday, 11th April 2026. Venue, Mata Amabli Secondary School, Umoji. Time 9 a.m. Forms are currently on sale in the school and will also be available on the exam day. For more inquiries, call 080-3645-6040, 080-3645-6040 or 090-2859-8799, 090-2859-8799. Signed, Management.
The land is green. For too long, realtors have walked alone. No structure, no protection, no unified voice. That era ends now. Welcome to the Realtors Summit 2026, a historic gathering that will redefine real estate in Anambra and Asaba. The Anambra Asaba Realtors Association, a platform for unity, influence, and collective power. And beyond that, a Realtors Welfare Initiative built to support you when it matters most. Strengthen your career and secure your future in the industry. At this summit, you'll discover smarter ways to close and scale, multiple income channels in real estate, and strategies that move you from hustle to ownership and authority. Featuring Dr. Tony Olisa Mbeki of Udala FM, Lovelin Chinenye Nana, Property Boss, and Mr. Jude Igwebike, IT Professional. Date 2nd May 2026. Time 11 a.m. Venue 5-star Restaurant Hall, Stock Exchange, Onitsha. This is not for everyone, but for realtors who are ready to rise. For inquiries, call 0803-276-0653. This summit is free, powered by Nebek Real Estate Limited.
It's green. Junior Weekend!
Onitsha, are you ready? This is not your regular night out.
Another one.
This is Udala House Party. Live at Movie Lounge, 8 Park Road, GRA Onitsha, on April 10th, 2026 at 7 p.m. And guess what? Entry is free.
Involve me!
With vibes from DJ Famous, Prestige, Bucci, Ojugo, Edith, and Lisa. Plus performances from DJ Fabulous, Tantawo, and the Obrigado. There will be games, 10 free casino slots for 10 lucky winners, board games, vibes, energy all night. Strictly 18 and above. And yes, it's gonna be live on air on Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Udala House Party this Friday. Make it a date. Brought to you by Udala Radio and Movie. Are you smart, confident, and ready to earn big? Do you have a passion for sales and marketing? Then listen up. Udala Radio 104.7 FM is calling on ambitious, result-driven individuals to join our team as marketers. No limits, no boundaries, just results and rewards. Work at your own pace, meet amazing clients, and grow your income. Sell it, share it, earn your way. Join Udala Radio and start today. Interested? Visit our station today at number 5 Okono Street, Onitsha, or call 0803-350-4206 or send your CV to udalaradio@gmail.com. Don't wait. Your success story starts here. Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Seriously authentic.
Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Seriously authentic.
You're listening to the Polity. Get involved now.
Okay, so it's time for you to get involved on this very conversation on Udala Radio 104.7 FM. You are listening to The Polity, and it's now 10:35 a.m. My name is Franklin Begatoni Disambeki, joined on phone from where he offered some analysis on the issues we have raised this very morning. If time permits us, I'm going to give you details of that very agreement which Iran and the US reached yesterday a 2-week ceasefire agreement, which is going to see the opening of the Strait of Hormuz. So we're going to see whether the price of crude oil is going to drop in the international market or whether it's going to continue to rise. By the way, yesterday Dangote Refinery increased the pump price of a liter of petrol, and we're asking how long are we going to continue to suffer because of this very crisis in Middle East. So let's go to the phone lines now. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my brother. Franklin.
Yes, good morning. Your name?
My name is Okoye from our Ancient Kingdom.
Go on, Mr. Ignatius.
But I'm calling for name.
Okay.
Concerning the 8 governors gathering together from the Southeast to support our President Tinubu, they have no political element. They are political element. They have no power. They have no. The policy they have is based on their pocket, what they would do people. But for political element, they are not. They are just going there to make more money because Tinubu is saying now. If you support him, you get something in your pocket. He still is all this opposition. I'm emanating from ADC. They are there for money. Even new one, which they announced this morning, they are there for money because he will be giving them money. It's just like what happened in the United States. Those are supposed to get, those are supposed to get money from weekend. This is exactly what our ex-governors are trying to do. They have no political, they have no liberty. Yeah, in Anambra State again. And the people in Anambra State don't love APC. That's the Southeast in general. They don't love APC. They only have votes, but not, they have votes more now than before. Not the winning vote. That's the only problem that we are having now is ADC. What they are doing to have only one party. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm done.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ignatius. Thank you for calling. Okay, you can as well reach us via the telephone lines so that we also get your input into this very discussion. 0803-221-6973 or 0803-827-6694. Or you can go to our socials and drop here a comment there. Hello, do we have anybody here? Hello, good morning. Okay, I think that call dropped, so you can try again. 0803-221-697. Okay, let's take this record before I get to repeat out those numbers. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, very good morning to you, Franklin.
Yes, good morning. Your name?
Yes, Antonio Zambeki. Good morning to you. Yes, Chidi Chukuma, joining you from here.
Okay.
Yes, this ex-governor's forum, this is not the first time. During his term as a governor was in the state, he was the leader of South East Governors Forum. And we remember what happened during his term as a chairman Governors Forum South East. This is the one that he led the forum that prescribed the IPOP without knowing that it was maybe that they know or they don't know that it was a death sentence. And we saw the killings when they designated that a peaceful organization as a terrorist group. There are a whole lot of killings, and we are talking of the money loss procedures without calling on them to give account of the number of people that died as a result of that prescription. And now he's leading another group as governors, and my worry is using the Southeast either for your political adventurism or maybe for cheap popularity. If you want to pay Mr. President for giving him that Minister of Work, which he said that is the climax of the ministry, that alone is enough for the Southeast. That is what he said. And now he's leading another group to work for the president, he has a right to pay him for giving him that opportunity and the money that he makes. But using your region for your political adventure, for political adventure or for cheap popularity is very, very wrong. And the people of Southeast are doing it, and without check, because we have organized that they don't, just like a toothless bulldog that could not call their people to order. The people that are relegating us, working against us, are the people that always use us to get what they want from the center. If we talk of the Southeast to produce the president of South of Igbo extraction, is not in his book. The Yorubas have worked for 8 years under Obasanjo, and now they have taken our own slot. Without, and the David Umar doesn't have any worry about that, because for him, only his personal gain is enough for the Southeast.
All right.
That is very, very wrong for them. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you for joining the conversation. So let me repeat the numbers now clearly so that the errors will be corrected now. 0803-221-6973 or 0803-827-6694. Those are the phone lines for the live studio. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Your name?
I'm sorry for that. It's Ikobi from Asaba.
Okay, Ikobi, go on.
I want to talk about the problem in ADC.
Okay.
I will fault David Mark for all this. He did not do his job very well. When you have a serious enemy, you must be also serious. They created this fourth line from the time he went to court and did not take advantage of did not cover the loopholes there. And that is why they are having this problem. I don't know how long it will last. Well, from time of Buhari, from his court case down to this one now, I observe that the lawyers or the advisors of the oppositions are not well guiding their oppositions when it comes to legislative matters and constitutional matters, even interpreting court, laws and the rest. So the problem that I have now is that David Mark failed to do the needful at onset, giving the enemy or the opposition better leverage to destabilize the party. So what I would advise them now is that let them come to a compromise. That is the only option. If they compromise, what matters most to Nigerians is the individuals they will put in on the ballot paper. If they make out that compromise, then they push ahead to give Nigerians who they need as the candidate come the next year election.
Okay.
But to continue with the perpetual court case, they may lose it all, just like PDP did.
All right. Thank you, Ikobi, for joining. We appreciate your input. Okay, so that was Ikobi. Don't forget the social media platform is there for you to join. On Facebook, we have Udala Radio 104.7 FM on Facebook. At the phone line, 0803-827-6694. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, my name is George, calling from Asaba.
Josh, go on.
Yeah, what Umayi is saying is very, very funny. A question that I would like to ask Tony, what about the case of Ngige? Have you been taken care of? Because since Ngige now started romancing with the present government now, I believe that case has already been dead on arrival. So in Nigeria, we need to be very, very ashamed of ourselves. That is just the truth. We need to be very, very ashamed of ourselves. Because our politicians, them all, have skeleton in their cupboard. This is the thing Ngige that was chasing all over the place. Somebody mention his name as a ex-governor that they are planning. Why all this time? There's no need. He said that whether Southside they have it. All this time they did not even deem it fit to have it inside, just because sometimes the way our people here play politics is a very, very shameful something. Okay, because of the election of Mr. President, we now have
a Southeast ex-governor forum. Like what the speaker said. He said that they should just call it a group that is coming out for the election of the present government. We now know, say yes, that's exactly what's going on. Talking about the issue of ADC, there's no need for us to even discuss anything about it because we know that APC have already planted somebody that will make sure that will destroy the party. But we have a very big issue in our hand, and I know that I will say that this our democracy is not working anymore. Is that even why INEC themselves are participating on it, on the rot that is going on? Why INEC? So that means that if they know that we are not going to have election in 2027, let them just took that money and are budgeting to give to INEC. Let them just take it and go and buy us a check to the poor masses.
All right.
Or even give it to NEPA. Rather to waste that money when we know that we are not going to get anything like election. So why wasting that money? Why wasting that money?
Okay, George. Thank you. Thank you, George, for joining the conversation. Okay, you talked about India. India was there. If you see the video or if you watch should I call that a press conference or communique delivery, which was made by Omar, you will see him there. And Omar, he also talked about those who were not there. He mentioned many of them saying that they were not there because of one thing or the other. Those who are outside the country on medical trip and other engagements. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Your name?
Chief Dr. Dim Tony Obunda. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. He's not in the studio. Go
I
on.
am great team. Ezapakego cruising the airwaves from Osumo.
All right, go on.
The 8 governors were there on their own. That hoodwinking, that is hypnotism, that is scam, that fraud that they have in mind to have convened that gathering, they were there on their own. Tinubu will only succeed getting 8 votes come 2027. Bet you me, there is nothing that will move us that these governors gathered to, get for Tinubu. We are all wise. In short, let me tell you, politics is not a rocket science. It is what we do every day in our families. I keep on saying this. We have been we have been changed for quite a long time by these governors. David Umahi, sorry. You are now leading ex-governors without P2B. P2B wasn't an ex-governor. That you are hoodwinking or hypnotism against the masses of our Southeast can no longer excel. Let me tell you, I give my credence and hope in what Trump said. Rig 2027 election and I will capture you. Just as I did to Venezuelan president. Rig 2027 election, you will be nowhere to hide. I will capture you. Good morning, Franklin.
Okay, good morning. So I think let's take another call before we switch over to the Facebook and take reactions. So one more call, we go to the Facebook page. Good morning.
Hello, Mr. Franklin. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
This is Anthony Mecheta. I'll reach you from Onitsha.
Okay, go on, Mr. Anthony.
Okay, on the charade that happened yesterday by some former governors of the Eastern states, led by Dave Omahi, saying that they are forming this group for the development of Southeast. Every right-thinking Easterner we know that this is just for President Bola Tinubu re-election 2027. You see, it is like the current Southeast governors are not forming a synergy enough for the president. And that is why it behooves on this APC members. When you tell them that together yesterday, you see they were of APC extraction. So David Umahi decide to gather some former governors who are of their own party extraction. Because a lot of promises have been made to Mr. President that come 2027, they are going to change the narrative as it happened because the president could not get 25% in any of the states. So they have made enough promises to him, and they want to use such medium to tell Mr. President that they are working for him. So for me, I want to say we should not take them serious it is only for, it's just like a city boys movement. Such, I was hearing the communique as being read by Devo Mahi. All I'm hearing there was, I can't Mr. President, Bola Tinubu. And I did not hear any problem of Southeast that they are here to tackle on. So you see, it's all about political. And after 2007, these things will die down. So we should not take it serious because it is just a political group.
All right, thank you. Let's dash to our Facebook page now to see a post. Christian Onyedekwa says, for ADC crisis, I told us that Jagaban has hijacked Nigeria. Everything is now going in his favor, and he said Jagaban is too much. Udala Aloysius says, on the issue of former governors, it is an association of former APC governors of Southeast. How come only the APC former governors were present at that very gathering? If all the governors were aware of this gathering, one or two former governors should have been present to show it was a general agreement between them. But since all were APC, they are speaking for their personal interest. And he says they are assuring Mr. President of much vote. What are the political value of some of them right now? He posted from Umar now. Also, Francis Magan Namani, watching from Enugu State, precisely Magans in Enugu State. He goes on to say that our political leaders and government at all levels should collaborate and marshal out appropriate measures towards mitigating the spate of banditry and killings rather than shifting more attention to 2027 general elections. And he goes on to say that Nigeria is heading towards one-party system, and this is not good for a complex nation like ours. The narratives, or these narratives, okay, let's say these narratives must be corrected outrightly. Okay, this one is from Funai Reader. He says, His Excellency, the immediate past governor of Ebonyi State, is doing well. Igbo leaders should come together and put their house in order without discrimination or stereotypes, which can help us as a region. We saw the progress ongoing in the Enugu-Onitsha Expressway, courtesy of Dr. David Umahi as our brother. Okay, thank you for the commendation to Udala Radio. Then, Dr. Misimo Lebera from Owerimo State says there is no way we can have one-party system in this country, because if we do, nobody will question the government of the day and hold it accountable. Without opposition, democracy is meaningless. We are in a serious trouble in this country, a situation where a ruling party tries to silence and destroy opposition, pushing the nation to a one-party state. It has become dictatorship and no longer democracy. Shall we just be watching these people destroy our hard-earned democracy? That's a question she raised. Ekegonas Madeke says the meeting by former Southeast governors was to support the re-election of Mr. President, and he says they are doing that on their own because they will not tell me who to vote come 2027. Communion Okeke says he posted from Ojoto. I thought it was the only person. Okay, he said he thought he was the only person experienced bad network. At first, I thought it was my phone that has developed faults, not until I switched to my other network. And he says, Wahala plenty, okay? Then Zakwe Celestine says, which courts, the ones that are like an arm of the ruling party? Well, I have always said that before. Until Constitution stops empowering Mr. President to appoint INEC chairman, we cannot get it right in any electoral process in Nigeria. And this is exactly what happened to PDP, and at the end, Wike was planted as a move to destabilize the party. This is what is playing out now in the ADC. The planting of moles has just been completed, and he says, I wait for Nigeria for what is going to happen to her by the time this country settles for one-party state. The promise, Amy says, those our eastern governors are not doing well. They can't say the truth why those under them are suffering, why they are looking for 2027. And he says, God show us mercy. Mazimu Rechikwadoro says, 2027 general election, the Southeast Former Governors Forum has issued a statement endorsing and supporting Mr. President as a candidate to win the election. They should know that they will only vote once and they cannot tell us what to do. we both are not cowards. We know what we want. And he posted from FM Onitsha. To wrap it up, Iko Okam, okay, he says people should stand for the truth, okay. Of course, so these are reactions coming from different persons, so we quite appreciate all these opinions that you have put in. We quite appreciate them. So I talked about what is going on, the agreement which was ceasefire agreement for 2 weeks, which was reached between Iran and the USA. It was announced this very morning. In fact, if you go on social media, if you go on Facebook now, you see a statement which was issued by Donald Trump in respect to that. If you also check that same social media, you will see the one that came from Iran Foreign Ministry, or Foreign Minister, confirming that that an agreement has been reached. Maybe I will just give you a snippet of that very agreement, then we get to leave. If you look at that very ceasefire agreement, which is going to be for 2 weeks, and it involves a couple of things from both sides. Okay, so I'm afraid that I won't be able to bring it that now because I just checked our time and our time is far spent. So we're going to suspend that very details. Perhaps tomorrow we'll be able to bring you those details and see what is going to play out in the coming days. But what I can confirm to you now is that the price of a barrel of crude oil is now selling at $94 per barrel for 100 and something that it was selling before the announcement of this very ceasefire agreement. So this is the state of things now. Okay, so we thank you for joining today's show and we appreciate all your inputs. We are because you are. So thank you for listening. My name is Franklin Ebuka. Good morning.